Hello, good evening, welcome once again to IceTime.TV as the curtain falls on another Elite League season, an Elite League season that has crowned the Cardiff Devils champions, and tonight they play one of the newest members of the Elite League, the Milton Keynes Lightning, whom this will be their last game of the season, having not made the end of season playoffs, but they have an absolute coachload of fans here to celebrate their first season back in the top flight. Gareth Hewish alongside Alan Lloyd, and Al, I'm sure they can, viewers at home can probably hear the drums that have started in the away block. The Lightning fans are determined to enjoy their last outing in the Elite League for this year.
Yeah, indeed, and why wouldn't they? Absolutely. It's always a good trip, whatever the situation. I think the season that's presented itself throughout the year, to come on that last away trip, or last game of the season, in fact, for the Lightning here. Big travelling support. I'm sure they'll have a lot of fun. They're already making noise. They've had a good time outside the arena as well, guys, and I'm sure that good time will contribute and flow into their good time here in the arena.
Let's hope so. And how do we assess the Milton Keynes Lightning first year? They recruited very well in the summer, many thought. Better than Guildford, many said. A mixture of injuries and suspensions that have put paid to them icing a full roster for much of the year. And they're now going through a coaching change as well. Thoughts?
Well, I think disappointment is probably the overriding word for Milton Keynes' first season. Of course, that first season in the top flight of UK hockey, you're venturing into the unknown. Guildford have had a more successful time of it. You never quite know how things are going to pan out. I'm sure it'll be a huge learning experience for the club as well. You referenced, of course, there that Pete Russell is leaving at the end of the season, and the vastly experienced Doug Mackay is going to be coming in, former NHL assistant coach, worked at Toronto, and a lot of games in the American League as well, years of experience throughout Europe. So I think that probably is an indication that things didn't go as planned for the Milton Keynes ownership this season. Of course, Mackay is going to be coming in and filling not just a head coach role, but a general manager role as well, with his marketing experience at NHL level that he brings to the club as well. But I think that's a statement of intent, certainly, not just because he's going to fulfill that dual role for the Milton Keynes Lightning, but also perhaps that they want somebody at the helm who can, they believe anyway, will perhaps deliver an improved performance on the ice next season. We believe it was sort of a mutual decision, really, that GB head coach Pete Russell leaves the role, and but I think when a team finishes sort of outside the playoffs, they missed it by a long way as well. You could argue that another season may have been there, but they've, for Pete Russell to try again and adapt to things in the top flight, but they've made a decisive decision. They've seen the way that they want to move the club forward. They've obviously found somebody who can fulfill a couple of roles, or probably a multitude of roles there, as the figurehead of that organisation, I suppose, Gaz. So I think that's probably an indication, at least what's encouraging, of the ambition of the Milton Keynes Lightning, that this isn't good enough, what's happened this season. You're absolutely right in terms of the signings that were there. They've been unfortunate with injuries, no doubt about it. The suspension to Matt Nickerson as well. Experienced player in this league. The type of player, he's the only player of his type that plays on this Milton Keynes roster as well. It's one of the smaller sides in the league. He provided that stability on the back end, that size, that protection for players. But much like, I suppose, the Manchester Storm and with the Guildford Flames, there's 5, 6, 7 guys there who are elite players in the Elite League. And a couple of them are former Cardiff Devils, of course. Guillaume Doucette and Denny Carney. Doucette leads their club in goals scored, along with their captain Kevin King. Carney leads them in points right now. Francis Veropol doesn't play tonight after that suspension in Belfast, and he picked up taking Jim Vandermeer with him as well, but he's obviously been a big plus. And I'm a huge fan on the back end of Paul Phillips. He was a wonderful player for Manchester Storm, the former Chicago draft pick, and that was a wonderful pickup by Pete Russell at the start of the season. And Carl Hudson too, spent last season in France, of course, won here at Cardiff, knows the league. So those elite players are superb. Again, it's just that depth, really. The scoring drops off mightily after it. and perhaps they just haven't found enough of those guys that can play those support roles and that sort of that gritty game that perhaps you need over a long Elite League season. Hope that answered the question, guys.
I'm going to probably ask you to elaborate on a few points. Switching gears to the Cardiff Devils, Andrew Lord kayfabed you yesterday. For those who don't know that term, I have a feeling he knew that he was playing tonight, but barefaced lied to you, Al, in that interview and said that he wasn't sure. He does line up. He's on the game sheet tonight. He's warmed up again. Possibly the last outing for him as a player.
Well, as far as I can see, the gloves are off in terms of future interviews that I conduct with Andrew Law. I was quite fair to him, I think, but to do that to me yesterday, I was out for an exclusive, wouldn't give it to me, then decided to announce himself on Twitter today that the coach, i.e. himself, had given himself the go-ahead. We were discussing this a little bit before, weren't we, Gaz? And I think it's a difficult situation because there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that come next season, if the Cardiff Devils have got an injury or two and they need to fulfil space within that lineup, Andrew Lord is more than likely going to play if required. So that would be my take on it. So it's difficult to take, much the same as Adam Keefe has done at Belfast, of course, who officially retired from playing last season but did play for Belfast. My view is perhaps Andrew Lord has got a few more miles left in the tank than Adam Keefe has as well, the way that Keefe played the game as well. Of course, Lord played in a similar style, but having taken virtually the entire year off almost this year in the end, perhaps his body has just held together a little bit more than Adam Keefe's has over that time. But Keefe still made an impact when coming back into the Belfast lineup. So I think it's never say never, but I certainly think Andrew Lord putting himself in the lineup tonight does suggest to me that he certainly sees his role at the club and his future role, no doubt, at other clubs, as he will no doubt go on to even greater things in his coaching career. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see him within an NHL coaching staff one day, Gaz, in some role, some capacity. I'm sure that this perhaps is an indication that is now where his full attention will go. But I certainly think we'll probably end up seeing him in a game or two here or there, if required.
I guess the reaction that he has at the end of this game will go some way to answering those questions. So we'll drop out now for a short while. There'll be the intro upcoming in a few seconds' time, and then we'll be around for puck drop. It's the Cardiff Devils, the Milton Keynes Lightning, the last Elite League game. Last regular Elite League game of the season before the playoffs begin, and it'll be live here on IceTime.TV.
Monday night. It's game night here at the fabulous Ice Arena Wales in beautiful Cardiff Bay. So without further ado, let's get out of our seats. Put your heads together for your team, the home team, your Peacocks, Cardiff Devils!
55 previous games have shaped the Elite League table, and they have shaped it with the Cardiff Devils at the top of the mountain. The mastermind behind this back-to-back championship win is Andrew Lord, a man who has all year put the spotlight on his players and their fantastic achievements. Tonight, with all the business being done in the league, the Cardiff Devils fan base get to shine the light on their coach, who puts on the skates, possibly for the last time in a Cardiff Devils uniform, for his last bow against the Milton Keynes Lightning. It's Andrew Lord night at Ice Arena Wales. Gareth Hewish alongside Alan Lloyd. Alan Lloyd? Well, you may be, I don't know, I don't want to start that rumour. Al, he has been fantastic as a player and a coach, Andrew Lord. Tonight he will get a fitting round of applause and reception from this crowd.
Well, if the introduction video there was an indication, perhaps I could have answered that question after that video now, because that was an indication to me, Gaz, that Lord has certainly perhaps made a decision anyway, that this will be the last official game anyway as a player, and in the lineup he is tonight. And tributes at the start of the, no doubt there'll be tributes at the end. He's the Cardiff Devils' most successful coach of all time, the most winningest coach, if I could borrow a horrible phrase from North America.
I can hear a friend of the show, Vic Silverwood, screaming at the telly at you using that word.
But I mean, when you think about what Andrew Lord has done alongside Todd Kelman and the ownership group as well, but it's Andrew Lord who has spearheaded this resurgence of the Cardiff Devils, rising from their lowest ebb really, perhaps arguably in the history of the club, within 4 years now, to being 2 times back-to-back Elite League champions, winning a couple of Challenge Cups in there as well, a couple of AHARD conferences, astonishing record, sorry, 3 AHARD conferences I should say, astonishing record really when you consider what he's developed here within Cardiff, not just in terms of the on-ice product and the success there, but the way he's gone about it as well, just such a gentleman off the ice to speak to as well, always backs his players, always takes the flak when things are good, but praises his team first, takes flak when things are bad, and praises his team first when things are good, and he's really just been that figurehead for the club and the perfect man to lead this quite incredible resurgence for this franchise.
He was, of course, a player during that year that you mentioned when the club was at its lowest ebb, and I just wonder how much that experience shaped him as a professional, as a coach, as a person. It was himself and Mac Faulkner who really kept that band of guys together that year. Jake Morissette, of course, as well, if we forget that. So Lord is going to get the last announcement as well. So we'll break for the applause at this one. I think the mascot will even go before him here.
Oh, poor mascot. It's a big moment. No. I think there may be one or 2 things happening tonight, Gaz, that Andrew Lord isn't aware of.
Andrew Lord!
And it's a standing ovation from every single person wearing a Devils jersey, and also a fair few wearing a Milton Keynes jersey. It's another special moment at Ice Arena Wales.
And an indication as well of how uncomfortable Andrew Lord is with praise being heaped on him. There was no raising of the stick, just a little quiet raising of the glove and a brief salute to the fans there. But indeed, you're right, Gaz. Players, of course, on the Milton Keynes line at Denny Carney and Guillaume Doucette as well. so crucial last season to set for a couple of seasons as well. Applauding Andrew Lord there.
We'll break now for the Welsh national anthem. Puck drop is about to take place here at Ice Arena Wales as the Milton Keynes Lightning fans just do a rendition of God Save the Queen.
So it looks like Thomas Birdie's going to get the start for the Cardiff Devils tonight. Gaz, Jordan Lorday will back up Thomas Birdie. Birdie with 2.72 goals against average, 0.887 save percentage. Jindrik Passel will start for the Milton Keynes Lightning, 3.94 goals against average, 0.908 save percentage. Passel has played 12 games this season. Tom Birdie has played 10 heading into this one.
And the puck is dropped and Crowder wins the first draw. Paris will send Joe Haddad on his way, puts it under Crowder, a tip wide past Passel's net. Pompey takes that puck off and sends it all the way up. First icing call of the evening.
Fantastic atmosphere in the building tonight. Sold out building here. Of course, a block full of Milton Keynes Lightning fans as well, who've brought the drums and brought the noise, and that normally brings out the best in the home fans as well. Good tempo to start things off. We're going to see a mix and match of lines for the Cardiff Devils. I guess we're going to see a little bit of that for the Milton Keynes Lightning as well, who are down on players tonight. We saw Guillaume Doucette get a start here against his former club, though, and that's nice to see.
Bentavolio. Good stick by Pompey to get it away from him, but only as far as Fournier. Fournier tries to cut inside, looking for a scoring opportunity. Now we're going to have the first penalty as Fournier is going to sit for two.
Yeah, and again, it's very similar to yesterday, isn't it? Where Gleeson, Fournier and Andrew Hotham were the main two in the first period at least, who were way up high in the offensive zone, given a license, no doubt, in these games, which mean nothing in terms of the Devils' league position tonight. Of course, it's been a huge deal in terms of points, of course, for Milton Keynes either. So we are going to see those defensemen make those plays. I'm sure we're going to see a few rushes from Carl Hudson as well, who loves to get the Jets going, and it makes for an open, free-flowing game.
Devils clear the zone early on the penalty kill. Here's Phillips. Lightning gain the zone. Hudson shoots and that's deflected into the netting above.
Milton Keynes with a pretty good power play on the season, guys. 21.60 they go on the power play. Look out for Paul Phillips. You knew what he did at Manchester as well. And Paul Phillips is, my goodness, on defence has picked up 20 assists on the power play this season. He's got a goal as well. 38 points in total, but 21 points on the power play, and we all know what, in this building at least, what Carl Hudson could do from the back end too.
Strachan tries to get the puck out, but it's kept in at the blue line. Kevin King with a lovely pass to Hudson, who looks for a tip in front, and that's a great save from Murdy. Strachan just taking his time, skipping over the blue line. Now here's Denny Carney, former Cardiff Devil. Phillips loads up Hudson, and that's into the logo of Murdy this time.
Cardiff Devils were perfect on the penalty kill last night against the Belfast Giants, Gaz, but early on, Milton Keynes, they're able to find inside position. Kyle Essery just ghosted in front of Thomas Murdy, was forced to make a superb save early on to keep this one at 0-0.
Devils win the draw. Mark Lewis will get this out. 1 minute and 5 left on the power play for Milton Keynes. And there's a turnover here. Andrew Lord it is. Turns it over, puts that one on Passel, but it's padded away. Melee. Farina high on the forecheck and forcing Milton Keynes backwards. Lewis Hook will get it forward now, though. It's going to be offside.
And interesting here that Pete Russell's opted to just break up some of his most offensive players on this power play. Guillaume Doucet we see going out in the second unit. He leads the Milton Keynes Lightning in power play goals this season with 11. You wonder whether a sniper of that ability, you would have expected, certainly I did coming into the game anyway, to see him out there with Paul Phillips, one of the best assist men out there, and of course Carl Hudson as well. But he's looking to just spread things out a little bit. We know he thinks a lot of Lewis Hook, of course, as well.
It'll be interesting to see what the future holds for Doucet. I'm sure that Milton Keynes would love to have him back. New coach, of course, the shot comes in and that's deflected over the bar. Phillips. Last 5 seconds of power play time here. Phillips finds Hudson. Hudson lays it off and now goes towards the back door, but really plucks it out of the air.
And it is a game which essentially means nothing tonight. That's a good way to build this broadcast. But with such a travelling fan base from Milton Keynes, you can see already that these Lightning players want to put a performance on for their faithful fans who've stuck with them throughout what's been a tough season, particularly on the road this season. But it's good to see that they're playing for their fan base right now, at least. That's the early evidence.
Pete Russell's last game as well, behind the bench, and
good point.
Rumours persist that maybe he has the head coach's job in Nottingham for next season. There seems to be an announcement coming out of the Panthers on Wednesday, which may shed more light on that. There's going to be a penalty now, this time on the Lightning. Devils will get their first power play opportunity of the evening.
We talk about the Milton Keynes tough season this season. Guillaume Doucet not happy at all with that call. Maybe we'll get another look at it at some point. But anyway, he's going to sit for 2 here. One of the biggest reasons for that, for me, Gaz, is just that road record. Just 4 wins on the road all season, 21 losses. That's the worst record in the league, apart from, of course, the Edinburgh Capitals. But I suppose effectively it is the worst record in the league. I don't know if you really count Edinburgh's performance this season when you're looking at those kind of stats.
The anomaly in the matrix, the Edinburgh Capitals. The dad shoots, but fans on it, but it falls to Matthew Myers. Asselin feeds that one out in front. Hotham shoots, and that's gone wide. Myers will rim this one around the boards. Then DeVolio. Dad keeps this alive. And DeVolio gets it back, and Dad with a blast, and that's over the bar.
Devils were 4 from 7 on the power play against the Belfast Giants last night, as they've tormented the Belfast Giants more than any other team on the power play this season, but overall they're over 28%. Milton Keynes Lightning's penalty kill is okay, it's just over 77%. The Devils will be feeling confident after their showing yesterday, but certainly mixing and matching players on their power play units as well here.
And maybe a short-handed chance now for the Lightning. They go through and it's blocked, and now the Devils can come the other way, and it's a 3-on-2. Matt Pope comes across, tries to feed Joey Martin and can't, and now we'll just set up 45 seconds of power play time to play with. Morissette to Martin. Pope with a shot, and that's through traffic and wide.
May have been caught with two men up high there, Gaz, but the desperation of Essery and Hook to get back is a credit to them. Again, in the final game of the season, just showing that the work rate of the Milton Keynes Lightning in the early stage has been very good.
Joey Martin does his way through and forces a save from Passel.
Yeah, and you give that Joey Martin that kind of room. It is that type of game, I'm sure, where we're going to see a little bit more space given to players than we might do in a close checking game that has a lot more riding on it in terms of league position. But my goodness, if you give Martin any time or space whatsoever, he's got the skating ability and the stick work to just fashion opportunities for himself. And he just caught Passel a little bit there, but it was a good save in the end.
10 seconds left on the power play. Strachan looks to throw this one through traffic. Rutkiss, who's getting some power play time here, finds Andrew Lord.
Josh Batch as well, guys.
It's a heavy-duty power play line, that is, isn't it? Lord in the corner, battling against Hudson. Lord again, scrapping for everything. Throws a hit on Doucette, and well, not much respect being shown between coaches and ex-players on this pad at the moment. Doucette will send it forward. Mark Lewis eases it for Strachan. Crowder collects. Isaacson won't let that one creep out of the zone. Pompey. Play breaks down, and now Crowder moves forward, loses the battle to Phillips though. Phillips does very well to get himself out of trouble. Pompey. King throws it straight across, looking for a deflection from Andrew Hotham, and it almost caught there. Now the Devils come the other way. Bendevolio. Hotham, and that's block it away.
Good save from Passel there, challenged at the top.
Chance here on the backhand to the forehand, and Crowder opens the scoring with smooth moves. Cardiff Devils 1, Milton Keynes 0.
Paul Crowder had a goal last night, Gaz. It was perhaps a little fortuitous, but tonight he gets one a little bit more orthodox and gets a chance to show the kind of hands he has. Let's take a look at this replay. First try was there, forced the save from Passel. It's a beautiful pass, short to Bendevolio. He's a pass-first guy. He did it wonderfully there. Crowder, though, with a nice play to just fake Passel out of his pads and send that one past him to make it 1-0 Devils.
Fournier steps over and throws that wrister into the logo.
12th of the season for Crowder as well. He said last night when he got his 11th as a guy brought in to be a depth forward this season. Guy who didn't play any hockey last season, but Andrew Lord knew him. He knew he could do a job. 12th of the season in league play for Paul Crowder. And Lord post-game yesterday was impressed with the way that Crowder played. Josh Batch, he highlighted as well. Depth guys who are showing that they want more ice time come the playoffs.
We should keep you up to date. It's Lane Ulmer and Bryce Reddick who sit out for the Devils tonight to facilitate Lord coming back into the lineup. The Lightning now throw this one out in front, but it's cut out by Matt Pope. Pleased to see there's no ill effects from him after that hit last night that he took from Dustin Johnner of the Belfast Giants as Paris puts it on net. Martin was looking to cause trouble. Morissette jigs his way towards net. Paris blasts it, deflected wide.
In the sense that Drew Paris is enjoying being thrown into more offensive situations in these last few games for the Cardiff Devils. He's a guy who's got a huge offensive upside, Gaz, but he's fitted into a role at this club this season that perhaps isn't his usual role in a lot of teams he's played in. We take a look at the move from Crowder there. That's wonderful hands from Crowder, isn't it? Gave Passel no chance in the air once he'd bit on the initial attempt. But indeed, Paris, my goodness, you see a bit more of that wrister as well. He's got an absolute laser, even with a softer shot there, causing all sorts of trouble out front of Passel there.
Ball battle in the corner. The Devils come away with it. Puck pings off the skates of Morissette, and now is Doucette. Doucette down looking for a hook as Lord finishes his hit in the corner.
A couple of bumps from Lord on Doucette now, Gaz.
I think he has a healthy respect for how dangerous Doucette is out on the ice. Very popular player in his time in Cardiff, and it was an amicable split in the off-season. Strachan.
Yeah, indeed. I think Doucette was, for a player of his offensive abilities, Gaz, and he's got his highest season in terms of goals scored since that wonderful season when he had over 40 in Hull as well. He just wanted to play top 6 minutes. He's done that at Milton Keynes. That wasn't something that Andrew Lord could guarantee him here at Cardiff, and he's gone to Milton Keynes and been one of their leading lights this season.
Indeed, and we're hopeful that he'll stick around the Elite League as well, as the Lightning move forward now, trying to charge their way through, but here's Josh Batch. Myers into the corner, and now Batch is there to put pressure on. But Phillips ashes it away. Myers shoots, and that's not going to trouble Passel too much there.
Well, it's been a productive line, hasn't it, for the Cardiff Devils over these last couple of games, that Myers, Batch and Rutkiss line. Rutkiss, the young player on the two-way with Swindon, who's had an opportunity here due to the unfortunate injury to Craig Moore near the start of the season, but I think he showed a real upside with that skill set, and he's a real exciting prospect is Rutkiss. That line's got a nice balance as well, with two big bodies of Myers winning draws and Batch out there going to the boards and just creating a bit of room for Rutkiss as well.
Indeed, Rutkiss has a trophy-laden season between his two clubs. The Autumn Cup was claimed by Swindon. As a dad shoots, and Benvolio tips wide. But thrown forward, and this will be icing. There's just over 10 minutes gone.
Yeah, and perhaps we're just seeing a little bit already the additional depth that the Cardiff Devils have. There's two import players that aren't playing tonight. They have a full roster of imports out there, of course. They just don't have room for those additional two. Milton Keynes Lightning effectively playing 2.5 lines. We talked about the loss of Nickerson back there as well. Primarily just going with those 4 or 5 D-men, and 4 guys particularly getting a lot of time out there as well.
That was quite a story to start your first Elite League season with, the unsavory scenes in the Spectrum earlier in the year. Maybe a few echoes of Terry Phillips trying to drag Brad Voth away at the Big Blue tent when a scuffle ensued off the ice.
That was with a fellow player, though, in that incident, guys.
I guess that's why I could be more jovial about that one. Paris throws it out in front of Martin with a tip. Martin again. Martin twisted and turning. Fournier. Martin will take over again. Asselin. Martin's looking in front, and Aslin just elects to hold on to it a little bit longer. Now Fournier's shot is cut out before it gets anywhere near net. Strachan. His pass is way too hard, and that'll be an icing call.
So just to finish that point from earlier as well, Gaz, of course, not condoning, of course, what Matt Nicholson did in that incident, but there's no way that a fan should have that kind of access to players in elite sport in particular. It's something that's surely got to be improved in that arena and looked at all other arenas as well, to make sure that that kind of access, particularly in those highly volatile situations, isn't possible.
There was that league ruling that Fife had to install plexiglass in behind their benches after Eric Nielsen of the Manchester Storm had an altercation with a fan. Shot comes in here and gone wide. Another shot, and Murdy is square to it as plays whistled down, maybe a little bit prematurely, as Murdy can get all of that off.
I think that's the best that Milton Keynes have looked in a little while. I thought they started the first 3 and 4 minutes very well indeed. It's been a little bit one and done, hasn't it, since then, and perhaps not overcommitting guys forward. I think that goal has just set them back a little bit, but hopefully they can just regain a little bit of direction and shape. It's a very difficult situation when you're playing with a coach that you know is leaving after this game, and you're already out of a chance for a while for making the playoffs. It's a difficult scenario for the players. It does give them freedom, you would imagine, but also means that perhaps the pattern of play and the attention to detail and systems play isn't going to be quite as you might expect.
Rutkiss just taking a little time to assess his options and keeping hold of that puck, and I think has angered Griffin there with his confidence, and eventually the Lightning do regain possession.
Good to see James Griffin back in the Elite League though, Gaz. I know you're a huge fan of Griffin, and of course playing in the EPL or whatever it's called nowadays with Milton Keynes after his stint at Coventry. I thought it was a shame that he left the Elite League initially, but a hugely talented young player. Good to see him back in the Elite League.
Chuck Webber's greatest mistake is down to the wraparound, and it's a great chance. Passel got something on it and holds that onto that one to cause the face-off.
Yeah, it's not his stick though, Gaz. He's 2 sticks went flying there. He picked up, I think that's Paul Phillips's, is it? Whose stick is that? No, maybe not. We'll get a look at it. Here we go. A good bit of footwork there from Farina, who had a good game last night. He's on some really good form. I think him and Haddad enjoyed playing together. Sticks go flying. Passel, in the end, recovers well.
Just pick up any lumber you can when you lose yours in there. Fournier. Bentivolio. Parachutes and padded away. Haddad's pass comes off the referee. He had found a lane. Crowder tries to force the turnover and can't, but that's a good poke check to send the Devils on their way again. Crowder to Bentivolio. Strong skate here from Hook, but you eventually run into a dead end. Isaacson. Joey Martin over the blue line. Shot comes in and block it away. Strachan tipped and eventually finds a passage wide. Lewis with a shot and another tip in front. This time it doesn't get to Passel. icing on the play here. Good stick from Strachan, and good tempo from the Devils going forward. Arseling into the corner. Arena finishing his hit on Hudson, and the board's nearest to us. Lord and Farina. What a combination that is as Lord shoots! And the crowd thought that it was a goal, but it's hit the side netting. The fairy tale was almost complete.
Well, he's played even strength, he's played penalty kill, he's played power play gas. I don't know if we're going to see him in goal later on. We're going to get a look here. He almost had his goal, and well, it was a surprising bit of emotion almost from Lord there. He probably not too emotional with personal things anyway himself on the ice, but interesting to see how upset he was that it wasn't a goal given. I'm sure there'd be plenty more opportunity, but I'm sure the players around him would love to get him a goal. Just noticing in their own zone, Milton Keynes the last few shifts clearly intending on closing down the puck carriers and making a strong effort to do that, the players that have the puck in the Devils zone. At times it almost feels as though one or two players too many are getting drawn to the puck carriers though, so just watch for that if players like Andrew Hoff, Sean Bentivoglou, Joey Martin manage to get players drawing to them. They've got the kind of passing skills to create space for those players left all alone.
Just a Farina to Hotham, and that's come off a few different pairs of skates to go wide. Batch. Fournier, and he has some ice to skate into now. It back to Batch, who'll chip it in for a chase, and now it's a turnover from Matthew Myers. Rutkiss does well and shoots, and Passel makes the save. But again, excellent endeavour from Rutkiss.
And also the hockey IQ guys, I think, as well. And you referenced this last night. He just makes intelligent plays out there. He's obviously got good hands, but there he got the shot away quickly, trying to get it away before Passel was able to set himself, who made a good save in the end. We're going to take another look at it here. Thanks, guys. Good work along the boards from Matthew Myers, as often. Straight out front, an eye for goal, tries to get that shot away. It's a good save at the top of the crease from Passel.
Fournier's got some space for himself here, and he's trying to find Rutkiss, who is in a real big battle in front of net. Drew Paris. Now Hook, but the Devils move forward once more. Hook does well, though, to regain possession for his team. Chip forward. The dad will get there first. Strachan off the boards for Crowder. Some time and space for the Devils now. The dad. Crowder looking for his second of the night. Couldn't get his stick from underneath the defenseman. Devils move forward once more. Devolio. Crowder. And Devolio just a little bit of time and space in behind the net now. Crowder looking for it. Still loose. Passel saves.
Yeah, Bentivoglou was just waiting and waiting for Paul Crowder to just make room for himself out front. He got away from his man, Paul Crowder, then Bentivoglou made the pass. But again, Passel's made some good saves early on.
Joey Martin, lovely little move, and it's just gone wide of the post. He made the space for himself with a lovely chip and go play. Here he is again, Martin. Hotham. Backhand play, and it's deflected in! A tip in front. And the Devils double their lead.
Oh, we take a look here at the replay, and again, it's just a great work from Andrew Hotham. Opens up room, backhand play. Looks like Matt Pope has got a touch on it at the end, but that's just the ability of Andrew Hotham when he senses an opportunity. He's one of the best in the league at doing that. We're going to get a look here, though, Gaz. A review is going to take place. Passel wasn't happy with it. Perhaps there's a player in the crease. I can only assume that that is what he's looking at, but certainly from Andrew Hotham, who creates that goal. So good at reading those opportunities is Hotham. Gets the play away quickly, and Pope was all alone out there to get a deflection on it. I think we need to get a new camera angle, Gaz, because every time Dave Newton's head is just not helping us out there from, and if Howard can't get a view past there, then nobody can.
He's quite an obstruction, isn't he, Kipper, in times like this?
Oh, superb work from Howard.
Lovely view of the banner.
Unfortunately, it is a lovely view of the banner. Unfortunately, the cranium is directly over the top of the goal there, so we're not going to get a view from there, but we are going to get a call on the ice. Let's go.
So Matt Pope gets his goal.
Yeah, we'll just wait for. Oh, does he? Yes, he does. 21st of the season for Matt Pope.
Asselin to Martin. Hotham. Devils looking to inflict more punishment on the scoreboard here. Asselin. Treading the blue line, and he just comes over it. Richardson's there to help him out.
It's Andrew Hotham's 41st assist on the season as well, Gaz.
Icing call on the play.
Yeah, it's good work from Paul Phillips, though, wasn't it, here to force Patrick Asselin out. We know Asselin has got some of the finest pair of hands in this league, and to not allow Asselin to get away was superb. Absolutely no chance for Passel there. I perhaps underrated that goal on first viewing, Gaz. That's superb coordination from Pope to get that puck up high.
Hotham gets the puck over the blue line. Neil Francis actually picked Andrew Hotham as his unsung hero of the year yesterday at the Q&A. I know that may sound strange for a player, as Al just pointed out, has 41 assists. But his rationale was that he's just that good that people don't give him the proper due. Paris with a drive, and almost took Passel into the net with him.
He won the hardest shot competition for this year's Devils team.
Morissette, and that's off the bar. And the Devils, as this period comes towards the end, are looking supremely confident as they were yesterday.
Diving play from Justin Farina. 1 second left on the clock there just to take that puck away. But my goodness, when Drew Paris lets that that slap shot go, because the wrist shot is scary enough, Gaz, but the slap shot even more so. Again, another good save from Passel. I think he's had a good period here. Couldn't really do a lot about either of those goals. It was just a beautiful move from Paul Crowder initially, and then absolutely no chance on the deflection from Pope.
So the period ends, and what was a spirited start from the Milton Keynes Lightning, the period soon went into a rhythm of the Cardiff Devils asserting their authority on the game with a lot of zone time. And they go into this period break with a 2-goal lead. Paul Crowder with the first, a lovely move that he pulled in front of Passel through the crease and then wristed it home. And then just towards the end of the period. Matt Pope with a redirect into the top corner. It's pretty comfortable for the champions.
Yeah, I agree, guys. I thought it was a strong start from Milton Keynes, but as soon as the Devils got that early power play opportunity, they might not have scored on it, but I think it just pushed the momentum their way, and we saw very little offensively from the Lightning after that. The Devils, with a superior depth and superior depth of skill as well, were just able to control the puck and win a lot of draws, and as soon as the Devils start getting on the puck, it's very difficult to disrupt their flow there. And we can see it's difficult, isn't it, to analyse this Milton Keynes side at a point in the season where it's long gone for them. The coaches leaving after this game, but there just didn't seem to be a huge amount of a plan there after those first few minutes. There was a very definite structure to what was going on. They were sending guys in, putting pressure on Devils defensemen, high tempo game, but after that they just seemed to lose their way. The structure seemed to go from their game, and I'm not entirely sure, based on this game at least, and that is unfair to say obviously based on this game, but what the identity of their team is at the moment. I think it's so crucial for any side to be successful to have an identity.
So we'll take a short break. I will pause, Al, to say that this Zorb football game, they haven't touched the ball once, which is, I'm sure, your favourite Zorb football game of all time.
Well, and I give them credit. There's not even been an opportunist, has there, who's seen the pattern of play and thought, I'm just going to tuck one away here either. So all credit to these. Played in exactly the spirit in which Zorb football should be played. Always a huge disappointment when anybody comes into this building and pays any attention to the ball whatsoever. And I'll be disappointed, quite frankly, now if they do. And they haven't. They're getting booed in the arena here, but I think that's absolutely ludicrous. Clearly, most people in this building don't understand the premise of Zorb football. It's got nothing to do with goals. It's all about illegal plays and big hits.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with about 3 minutes and 42 seconds of the period break for highlights of the first period. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back here on IceTime.TV. Welcome back to IceTime.TV. Highlights will be appearing on your screen any second now, and there they are.
Some sort of sorcery, Gaz, isn't it? That was the early chance. That was on the power play, and got good inside position. It was a good save. It was Kyle Esther who got in. Old Thomas Murdy made a good save on him. Another try there, quick shot through, somebody on the doorstep, but it was straight through to Murdy. And we get a look at Andrew Lord's first shift there, shot on goal. He's keen, isn't he, for a goal tonight in what looks to be, at least officially, perhaps his last game. We can speculate in a Devil's life. That was one of the most non-committal sentences I've ever made. As Joey Martin that time with a chance. Then we get a look at Hoffman, who had a good chance, and I think some good saves. I like the way that Pastel is challenging at the top of his crease. That time he wasn't, but I just think that's great play from Paul Crowder, guys.
Look how close Pastel gets to trying to get a glove on this when we see it again. But it's the body weight, I think, of Pastel is going backwards, so he doesn't have that weight on his wrist to put it away, but that is excellent work from Crowder.
Yeah, our colleague John was saying how impressed he was with Paul Crowder yesterday, and I think that was just the icing on the cake from yesterday's performance. He started this one well. Drew Paris gets that wrister away. So much zip, I think is probably a good word to use behind that. Caused some trouble out front. Myers with a blast there. Again, love the way Pastel's challenging at the top of the crease. Then they go the other way, but again, and after that initial try, it was all from the outside and a bit one and done from Milton Keynes.
He's a dad who's going to knock the stick away from Basiers on the wraparound attempt. And Joey Martin, who really started to influence that first period. Once he got some puck time, Lord with a shot that a lot of the crowd thought had sneaked through.
Yeah, and if he thought it was in, it was a muted celebration, wasn't it, as well? I think he was... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it didn't look anywhere near being in, did it, quite frankly, but interesting to see, and perhaps another indication there. You don't normally see that kind of disappointment from Lord for something personal like that, unless perhaps there is something going on in terms of the future of his playing career anyway. But we're going to look at the sharp chance from Rutkiss there, who again I was impressed with here. And I just think that's smart play from Hotham. You cannot give Andrew Hotham any sort of time and space like that. He's so good at reading those opportunities. Backhand play, a little bit of inexperience there perhaps against Hotham, and a fine finish from Pope.
Indeed it was. That was all the goals for that period. We've seen Drew Parris, though, looking to add a third with an absolute cannon. That was followed up shortly by Morissette hitting the bar. And we'll see how close this is here. Morissette just on the turn. Pings one.
Look at the amount of room he's got there, though, Gaz, as well. He could have driven his 4x4 in there and still had room. Even so, quick hands from Morissette to create an opportunity for himself. Back live now, ready for second period action. We look forward to more noise in the building tonight. I suppose the biggest shock of the evening, Gaz, is what on earth is going on with Nottingham Panthers tonight?
It's a very weird situation there. It's 2-0 at the moment, as you've been seeing on your screen.
Well, as our Karen Howard has pointed out, perhaps not isn't the most strange thing. We're about to start a game without any officials on the ice. The players seem keen to get on with things, and well, it'll be an interesting game, I suppose, if you're going to limit the number of penalties, certainly.
Take the nets away, put a couple of jerseys down. Rush keepers. Make a game of it.
A flying V or two.
We're underway. Fournier. Haddad. Looks to find Crowder, but can't. And now Hook steps over the blue line. Quick start from Milton Keynes here. The long stretch pass, though. Ventivolio now lays it for Crowder. Haddad. Joey Haddad still with it. Parris, wrist shot. Parcel is not impeded, so makes the save.
It was a good ball battle initially won by Carl Hudson there that sent the Milton Keynes Lightning away. But again, they get into the zone. They weren't even able to get a shot away in that instance. They gave up the puck far too easily in the Devil's zone, who then came back and had about 20 or 30 seconds or so of offensive zone time against the Flames. It's got to be a difficult, that's something that's got to mount up, isn't it, over the course of a game.
Lord throws the puck across the crease, and Parcel took a little bit of a knock from that net there. Very rarely see the nets move in this building, actually.
Yeah, they were smashed into there, though, Gaz. I think Parcel's okay. I think he was taking evasive action more than anything as Andrew Lord bulldozed his way through to the net. I think he took a bump and then went down just to make sure everything was okay. It's almost like when you're a small child and you fall over and you're fine and you spot a little bit of blood on the leg, Gaz, and all of a sudden the tears roll after that. It was reminded me of that a little bit.
I was a much tougher kid than you. That's a lie.
You were the one dishing out the beatings.
That's definitely a lie. Face-off won by the Lightning. And they're looking to eat into this Devils lead as hit thrown at the boards. Richardson turns the puck over. Now the Devils have a 2-on-1 if they can use it. It's Farina. Shoots, and Farina puts it away! Superb finish from the Devils, 81. And they race into a 3-goal lead early in this second period.
Justin Farina, perhaps most known for getting in and around the dirty areas and picking up the trash for most of his goals this season. He's second in goal scoring for the Cardiff Devils, but he shows here that he's got the hands and the pinpoint accuracy as well. Goodness me, what is it that Justin Farina can't do? He's got it all, isn't he? '24th of the season for Justin Farina as well, behind Joey Martin, who leads the team with 26 goals on the season. Gaz is a bit of a cult hero in Cardiff after still not even one full season. I think he was almost a cult hero when he came down here for Dundee amongst Cardiff fans.
I think he was. And I guess you've got to look at the situation surrounding his signing. A direct replacement for Patrick Bordelot in many respects. As we see the slow-mo here.
And there's nothing wrong with the way that has been, that play developed, with the work that the Lightning did their Gaz. The players did their correct role. It was just a fine shot, really, in the end from Farina.
Martin. Asselin. Strachan throws it in behind the net. And eventually, the Lightning get it out, and now here's Phillips to Forbes. Pope now will come the other way. That'll be offside.
Again, though, just before that goal went in, you could see it was just another weak giveaway from Milton Keynes in the offensive zone. Kevin King, the culprit that time, turned over far too close to the blue line, and the Devils able to rush quickly there. 2-on-1. Guillaume Doucet is doing his best to try and get back into the play there and take out Jake Morissette, but Morissette isn't needed in the end. That's just a pinpoint shot there. It's beating Henrik Passel, and fine bit of camera work as well for the guys at IceTime.TV.
Paris with a hard one around the boards, but Hudson will send it the other way. This will not have legs for icing. Rutkiss. Maybe now Rutkiss can be afforded even more ice time in key situations. I'd love to see Rutkiss crown his first season with a goal. Milton Keynes now with Isaacson. Pompey shoots, and Murdy does well through traffic. And again, Murdy.
It's good work from Melee as well out front there. But it's a testament to the save quality from Thomas Murdy. But that's the first time they've had a presence there.
Crowder's cutting in, backhand play, and I think Passel made the save in the end. Danger's not averted for Milton Keynes, though. Now they get it out. Crowder with excellent hands to find a route to net. And Devolio, he has options to his left. He also has a dad down low, finds him. The dad shoots, Passel saves. And the puck play breaks down, and it's almost a 2-on-1. Lord bust a gut to get back there, and the shot's gone over and wide. Phillips. Murdy gloves it.
Yeah, it was Carney and Doucet linking up there. Carney with a nice pass, and Doucet perhaps would have liked Thomas Murdy to have had to work a little bit harder on that play as well there. But as you say, good work from Andrew Lord to just cut back and take the time away on the shot. Phillips jumps into the play as well. Easy save for Murdy, but it does get the offensive zone face-off for the Milton Keynes Lightning. And from their side of things, they would look to win a draw here and try and get some zone time, but they're just struggling, aren't they, to just keep any kind of puck possession or prolonged puck possession in the offensive zone right now.
Murdy. Morissette finds a way up the boards, but he runs into Carl Hudson. Phillips. Excellent stick from Farina, and he sends Morissette on his way. And this is definitely the danger line for the Cardiff Devils tonight. Farina. Martin. Asselin shoots, and Passel cuts down the angle. Asselin with excellent work to regain possession. Shot from Pope, it's the post! It's Pope again. Pulls a move, Pope, and now Fournier. Back to Pope. Fournier, they're playing catch a little bit, these two. Fournier can't control that pass. Drew Paris. Pope. But it breaks, and Milton Keynes just get out, and that's hit about 1 million speakers above the screens there.
And I think what the Devils did well there again, as much as they did last night, is they kept their feet moving in the offensive zone, and players are happy to interchange. We saw Gleason Fournier providing a screen on that shot that hit the post. He's so often the guy firing it in from the blue line. And you look there at Carl Hudson, who then made a change towards the end of that shift. He was the guy being dragged out of his natural defensive position to have to harry the player on the point there to try and take things away. So the Cardiff Devils right now are pulling Milton Keynes players out of some of their assigned positions into perhaps environments where they're not as comfortable playing, and they're able to work that offensive zone as a result, Gaz, and create plays. And again, when you look at the ability of some of the players, of course, in the defensive lineup, they're players that are happy interchanging as well and playing those different positions. But just that little bit of element of following the puck at the moment again from the Lightning in their own zone.
Towards the end of the second period and in the break, we'll have a better idea of how the final table is going to look. We'll discuss that in the third period, I'm sure. Hit comes in from Batch, and he's away. Rutkiss, back to Batch. Batch just trying to spread the play. Matthew Myers looking for Rutkiss, couldn't find him. Bit of chemistry developing on this fourth unit, though.
And also, Gaz, players playing to their roles on that unit. I thought it was a strong shift again from Josh Batch, who won a board battle with a heavy hit there, created an opportunity. Matthew Myers strong on the boards as well.
Batch, and he scores! It's been an excellent shift for Josh Batch, and he caps it with a goal.
Josh Batch fires it home there, Gaz, and we know he's got some wonderful hands when he has time and space, and perhaps sometimes you wish he would have more confidence in his shooting from time to time. We saw him score a worldly goal here last season, which you had the pleasure of calling in the pre-season. Superb finish from Batch there, capped off, as you rightly said, the end of a very good shift from him.
He's also now 1 point away from his 100 points in the Elite League overall, so could tonight be the night? Bentivoglio, shot from Strachan, and Passel has to be alive to that.
Fifth of the season for Josh Batch, Gaz, and Andrew Lord was very pleased with the way Batch played last night. He said in the post-game interview, thought he had an excellent game. And I thought he was very good last night as well. We talked about how these games are a real opportunity for Josh Batch to show that he deserves more ice time come the playoffs, that he can play a role for the Devils, a vital role with that big physical body that he has and the type of game that he can play. And right now, he's doing just that.
Bentivolio. He's put under a bit of pressure from the pass from Strachan, but the play breaks down. Now the Devils will look to move forward once more, and there's just such a free-flowing attack from the Devils each time that they come forward, and again Bentivolio looking for the sublime. Isaacson has taken a knock there.
Yeah, that's a bad slash. Really bad slash from Joey Haddad there, Gaz, who's taken a bump from Isaacson that he didn't like. And I think if he just gets the 2 minutes here, he's done quite well out of things here. Let's take another look. Yeah, the missed chance out front. Takes a bump, but it is a little bit of a bump from behind into the numbers. It's nothing too vicious, and it's a poor slash from Haddad in a game where he doesn't really need to do it. Anyway, power play time for Milton Keynes Lightning, and they'll get a second opportunity. I thought their first power play was good, and we talked about they do have a good power play, over 21%. They can get those high-end players all on the ice and go to work.
Jordan Headley is currently getting suited up on the Milton Keynes bench, so he'll be relieving Passel of duty shortly. Shot comes in, and that's over the bar. Phillips. Hudson runs out of room, and now Andrew Hotham will chip away.
Good stick detail from Hotham in his own zone there. Such an important part of a successful penalty kill. One of the key reasons the Devils' penalty kill is one of the best in the league. But Hudson there showing a bit of class. And I'm sure players like him will enjoy these moments, these opportunities here, just to try and generate some offense, because they're struggling 5-on-5. So, wow. There we go. We're going to get a 5-on-3 here, I think, Gaz, as well, as Hudson has his stick slashed out of his hands there. So even more of an opportunity now. 5-on-3 for 1:11 as well.
That's a long time on the power play.
Andrew Lord in the box. A couple of bumps on Doucette, a hard slash on Hudson, and a goalie change as well, Gaz.
So can the Lightning get on the board? Phillips at the blue. Hudson. 1 minute of 5-on-3 here. Doucette across.
Carney's got to do better there, Gaz. It's a good pass.
Hudson with a blast, and it's gone wide, and on the rebound, and they got it through. Denny Carney comes back to haunt the Devils again. It's 4-1.
Well, credit to Denny Carney, Daz. He does do better here. He missed an opportunity from a great pass from Doucette initially, but then they work the power play. We take a look here. Carl Hudson, they're going to get the puck in deep here. Paul Phillips to Hudson with a blast there. We know he's got a good shot there, and Murdy just gets dragged a little bit too far to the top of the crease. It opens up, but that's quick hands and quick vision as well from Denny Carney to bag a power play goal for the Milton Keynes Lightning.
Still 1 minute and 25 seconds of power play time remaining. The goal's been awarded to Kevin King. He may have put in that rebound then, right at the post. He was trailing.
Yeah, Carney and Hudson pick up the assist on that goal.
Fournier! And we should say that the goalie change has taken place. And now Jordan Headley is in net for the Lightning. And Fournier just causes his first save.
That's King's 28th for the season, leading the Milton Keynes Lightning in league play. Goes one ahead of Guillaume Doucette now, and also his 9th on the power play, Gaz.
Many people had him pegged as a potential coach when it was announced that Pete Russell was leaving. That hasn't happened, but He is seen as a pretty integral part of the Milton Keynes Lightning organisation. Helps a lot with recruitment. Is there to be a second goal here on the power play with 15 seconds left? Doucette flashes it across the crease, but there's no white jersey to help him out. Farina dangles. Farina shoots, deflected wide.
Yeah, good work there from Paul Phillips there, just the stick detail on Justin Farina again, just to send that one wide. But there we got a chance to see that offensive ability of some of these Lightning players, Gaz, because they had more time to go to work in the offensive zone. They just haven't had the time 5-on-5, but they got some players with a really high skill set, and we got to see it there on those power plays.
King with a blast, goes wide. Carney collects. That long stick of his, Denny Carney. Here he is again, and it's a chance for King on the backhand, and Murdy does well to cut the angle.
Yeah, well worked. It shows the importance, doesn't it, of winning those board battles. The Devils commit to the boards, they lose out there. It was great work to get that puck away and found King there on the backside, and he got some elevation on that puck as well. It was a good save from Tom Murdy, who again challenged at the top of the crease and was able to just read that play. Difficult to read those shots on the backhand, but Murdy cuts down the angle, doesn't he? And the time between him and the shooter made a good save.
Martin to Pope. That power play time and that goal has just injected some life into the Lightning. Now here's Forbes. Shoots over the bar. Griffin.
It's just fine margins though, isn't it, Gaz? And Forbes, for me, there's got to try and force a save from Murdy because he had two other players crashing to the net then.
Asselin. Finds Rutkiss with support. Strachan with a drive, and Headley deadens that play.
And that's a good save from Headley there because just skating in was Tom's Rutkiss there, but that was the difference. In the Strachan's drive is on target, forces a save from Headley, who did well to cover the puck. If he'd have spilt it, Rutkiss was ghosting in right there, looking to pick up any trash, and that's what you want to see a bit more of from Milton Keynes as well. It's just forcing those saves from Murdy and trying to find those second-up tries.
Isaacson is back on the ice. Another chance! And Batch almost with his 100th point and his second goal of the game. Headley shuts the door on him.
You see they're trying to get it for him as well, aren't they? But I think it's been just rewards, Gaz. We get a look at that here. This line has been good for the Cardiff Devils. Myers, Rutkiss and Batch. Long stick there of Batch. Wins that puck in the offensive zone. Creates a chance for himself. Goes back out. Good save from Headley there, who's made a couple of good saves since coming on.
Rutkiss fires, and Headley saw it late. Got something on it. Now the Milton Keynes Lightning come the other way. Melee. Strachan. And now Matthew Myers for the Devils. Looking for Batch in front of net. And if you can hear commotion below, there's a group of Milton Keynes fans with horses' heads on who've gone for a gallop around the rink and are encouraging the Devils fans to get involved. Fournier at the boards.
It's going to be a brave security guard to spoil that party, isn't it? I wonder if we'll see any beach balls.
I think a couple of security guards got a bet on it.
As long as they don't end up in my bed, Gaz, that's fine. The horse's head.
Nicely clarified.
3-2 we're hearing, Gaz, the score between Nottingham and Edinburgh. No idea who to, though.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, thank you.
Farina. Tried to find Andrew Lord and couldn't. King. Doucette was looking for a little layoff. And puck just got caught in the skates. Now Morissette. There's Paris for support. Crowder. Richardson will collect his own pass there, but it's turned over in the zone. Carney. King. Paris turns behind his net. Crowder, a little layoff for Haddad. Haddad will just chip this to the corner. Crowder collects. Hotham. It's going to be a penalty here. Murdy's gone to the bench. And Crowder was looking to get his second of the game, and the Devils will get some power play time.
Well, the last 5 minutes have been more entertaining in the stands, Gaz, than it has been on the ice. Perhaps we could just focus, get the camera guys to
We got for a
look
chat.
at the stands. Yeah. We'll go and speak to some of the Milton Keynes fans, and if there's a goal, we'll just get a GoPro on the ice just in case.
Morissette down below. Fournier can't collect that hot pass and will need to start again, but he's found a skating lane as he so often does. Pope. Room for Martin now. Martin was trying to ease it down to Morissette and couldn't. Pope. Matt Pope again. Martin. Fournier. 1:10 left on the power play for the Devils. Martin just trying to find some room, and that puck skips over the stick of Pope.
I think that's good penalty killing from Milton Keynes. It's going to sound slightly contradictory what I say now. They were passive, but they were active in being passive there, and I will elaborate on that momentarily.
I hope so, because I haven't got a clue what you're on about. Haddad. Bentivoglio. .25 seconds remain on the power play as Bentivoglio runs into trouble, and now there could be a 2-on-1. Carney looked for that passing lane, but it's a good stick from the back check in Bentivoglio.
And I'd like to thank Denny Carney for illustrating what I was on about perfectly there, which again I will attempt to come to in the next break of play.
Keep that hook there. Hotham. Penalty is over as Bentivoglio sends a redirect wide. Shot block wide is Melly. The little stick check on Hotham, and does well to evade his attention. Melly still with it, and Murdy's there, and the rebound is put away. And the deficit is now only 2. A Milton Keynes Lightning with a strong end to this second period.
Yeah, wonderful bit of play on the way through. It's Evan Stoffler who's going to get the final touch on this. Well, more than a touch, it was a blast in the end. But this is great work from Melly there. Goes to the net, forces a save from Murdy, drags him to that far side of the net, and that's what I'm talking about, getting the shot away and then getting the deflection from the shot. Falls to Stoffler there, who's got a wide open net to make it count for Milton Keynes, and half the deficit now, making it 4-2. And that is Stoffler's first league goal of the season, guys. What a time to do it.
Batch doesn't take the puck with him. And now he turns it over again, Josh Batch. He's looking really up for this one. Crowder. He can't find Joey Martin. Griffin dumps it in and chases. Does well. Can Milton Keynes get further goals here? He could have if it wasn't for the leg of Tom Murdy.
Yeah, it's a good read from Crowder though, because Phillips was there to pick things up on the deflected play. Again, the importance of getting that shot through on target. I'm going to analyse that penalty kill if it kills me, guys.
We're going to have to keep it for the highlights. Make sure people return in the period break to hear what you got to say.
What a billing you've given it. Period break entertainment's me analysing a penalty kill.
Pompey could get a third here, he does! That's a roof high! Murdy's glove side! And with 1:08 left in the period, it's Cardiff Devils 4, Milton Keynes Lightning 3.
And just like that, guys, we've got another player with their first league goal of the season. Quinn Pompey walks in. No wonder he was so thrilled there. What a fabulous finish from him for one, but also picking up his first league goal of the season. Nice to have achieved that as well. Makes it a one-goal game too.
Well, it's very much game on here now. 5 Flyers came from behind with a very similar deficit earlier on in the season. Much different circumstances, of course, but Andrew Lord will be incensed, you would think, that this period has broken down since the 4-goal lead was installed. And Doucette there was almost going to even this up. Puck takes a bounce and Carney's coming the other way. Doucette with a chance. Murdy has to make the save, and Devils are in deep water here.
Amazing what a bit of confidence and momentum can do, isn't it? Just looking a threat every time they're in the zone right now, the Milton Keynes Lightning. I'm going to credit this resurgence within the game to that excellent penalty kill, Gaz, from earlier on, where they were active in their passivity. And what I mean by that is they kept their feet moving, but they didn't get dragged out of that box shape. They forced the Devils to make play. Denny Carney exemplified it when he got a turnover there where Bentivoglou tried a bit too much on that power play and just walked into Carney, who stole the puck and created a chance. They kept their feet moving, but also kept their discipline.
Mark Lewis, and Headley has to make the save. It opened up for Mark Lewis there. Crowder to a dad, the last few seconds of the second period. Well, at one point during that second period, it looks like the Devils were going to saunter to another commanding win. But it just took Denny Carney and Kevin King to force a puck past Murdy, and then a couple of defensemen to get their first league goal of the season to give this game a completely different complexion. It's Cardiff Devils 4, Milton Keynes Lightning 3.
Would you like me to say something? If you want. Well, I just thought it was a, again, just to reiterate what it could do, just a little bit of momentum, confidence in front of goal. We know that the Milton Keynes Lightning have got some high-end offensive talent, guys. They just weren't getting the opportunities to establish enough zone time to get shots away. But I felt after that penalty kill, they became more direct. They got pucks through on Murdy and picked up on some of the rebounds there after having forced him into a save, and they, as a result, had a little bit more zone time as well. We know they've got the ability in the offensive zone. The Devils, in credit to them, had just shut them down, hadn't given them that opportunity early on. A little bit of momentum shift, superb penalty kill, and away they went. And this is going to make it a much more interesting final period now as well.
It certainly is. Enjoy the Bruce Dickinson Trekker pack as it carries on here, and we'll be back with about 5 minutes left of the second period break for highlights of that second period. So don't go anywhere. Live action continues here on IceTime.TV. Welcome back. Highlights upcoming again upon your screen, and here they are.
More sorcery. This is Justin Farina's goal.
What a finish it was, glove side.
It was the turnover, wasn't it, near the blue line, and that was the key thing. The Devils could get away at speed. Odd man rushes there. Doucette is doing his best to get back, and I think he just about does enough to put off Farina from making the pass to Morissette. Perhaps you could argue that Pompey could get a little closer to Farina there just to close down that shot, particularly with Doucette, the back checker, I thought, because perhaps that's the right play if Doucette isn't there, but given that he was, maybe he could have closed him down a little bit more, but once the shot was away, there was no chance for Passel.
Crowder here cutting his way towards net, and he was looking for the backhand play. But a mixture of defense and Passel eased him out of it. It would have been a fantastic second goal for him.
Yeah, indeed, and here we get another look. They fire it through, and again, they're forcing a save, aren't they? So that time it wasn't successful in getting the second up try. It was Fournier, and goodness me, off the post there, Fournier the screen. Eventually the pressure would tell, and a goal would come, and we're going to get a look at that right now. What a pass that is as well. Josh Batch with a wonderful shot, deserved goal, but we're going to get another look at that because I want to see. That's Joey Haddad, and I missed that initially. What a fine pass, the speed of it, and Batch just to pick up that and read that play, to be the last man in there to pick up that pass. Fine work from Haddad and indeed Batch.
More pressure from the Devils, who certainly through the first half of the second period were by far the better team.
But a good look at the flex on that stick there as well with that slow motion, didn't we? Brought some wonderful shots this evening. This is the Milton Keynes goal. Blast comes in from Hudson. Murdy perhaps just gets caught a little bit too high on his crease there, opens up on the back door. In the end, it was Kevin King who was credited with the goal, but Carney was there. And we can get a closer look here now. Carney, does he feed it out front maybe to...
He hits the post, and then
I
King pokes the rebound over.
Dead-eye Gaz. Yeah. So King's goal, Fournier with a chance there, but just gave Milton Keynes like some confidence in it. We see a backhand try. That was a good save, I thought, from Murdy, who challenged and read the play well. We get a look here. Rutkiss with a quick fire shot off the draw. Again, that's just good hockey IQ, isn't it? Saw it open up quickly off the face-off, got the shot away. Another goal here for Milton Keynes Lightning. It was Soffler with his first of the season in the final game in Milton Keynes colours, at least this year for him. And again, it's that initial shot where they get the rebound there and are able to pick it up and fire home.
And there was another defenseman to get his first of the year shortly after. Pompey, with time and space, opens up the angle and with a wicked wrister top shelf.
Yeah, and Pompey's first league goal of the season as well, and it was catching there, wasn't it, for them? But it's just way too much time and space, isn't it, Gaz? Is that Devils all caught on the one side of the ice there, too late to react. He had time, so much time and space. Fine finish though to beat Murdy, who had no chance.
So it's set up as 4-3.
What are you having for tea tonight, Gaz?
Not decided yet.
I was thinking chips.
Ooh. Which Emporium would you
Well, one you know very well, a couple of doors down from...
Well, don't name it now. The fans battering down my door.
No, I'm not going to name it, Kaz.
Okay,
I'm not
then.
gonna name it.
Just checking.
But it is a fine establishment, and it was a bit of a leading question because I was hoping he would say yes, and it was arranged for a. Well, if you're in, I'm in.
Puck breaks down, and now Isaacson looks for a pass through, and he's under duress from Matt Pope, who comes away with the puck. There's certainly renewed vigour in this Milton Keynes Lightning team. Martin around. Fournier doesn't get any venom in that shot. Bentafolio turns. Isaacson plays it for Huck. Puck pings off the post from a bad angle now. Melee with a shot, and Melee's been influential in these last few moments of the game too. Crowder now the other way. Crowder, pad save from Headley, but there was no Devils player to put the rebound in. Puck sent at the other end of the ice.
Oh, well done, Gaz, for continuing to call the play there. We've got a conga of Milton Keynes fans going around the arena at the moment. You could flit between the two.
I thought you were going to suggest I join it.
Well, that would be a talent if you could commentate while doing that.
Just be me singing the conga song, wouldn't it? I think that's less value and entertainment than I currently provide.
Taz is leading it.
Milton Keynes in the zone. Carney right out in front, and he's searching for Doucette, and Doucette just couldn't get a handle of that puck, but the puck breaks down again. King to Carney, and you almost feel like the Devils are frustrated a little bit with themselves. Here's Doucette with another shot, and now it's a 3-on-2 for the Devils as they gain the zone. Matthew Myers, Mark Lewis.
I'm sure that the security personnel there, it's the first time he's ever said that. I just saw him mouth to some fans, could you move out of the way please, there's a conga coming.
We are in a very weird situation right here.
We do have a camera on this conga, but unfortunately the players continued throughout, so hopefully they'll do another lap.
Shot comes in, Murdy has to make the stop. The away block is empty.
Just no empathy for the fans right now, these players, Gaz.
Martin to Batch. Batch is having his stick held there, but no call on the play. The only other time it's been this weird is when the Nando's chicken had a fight with Taz.
We've got to break your play, thank goodness, and we will show you the. There it is. It's done almost an entire lap of the arena. Gaz, your play-by-play tonight. Give us a call on this.
Well, I think that it's quite a strong conga, isn't it? I mean, it's taken what it will be its second lap very shortly. It started in the away block.
Led by Taz as well. Couple of horses' heads in there. There's some images of Pete Russell masks on people's heads. Back with the play.
Devils looking to extend their lead. The puck's out in front. Paris was looking to join in there, but the puck evades him, and now Fournier comes the other way. Melee with a slash on Pope to dispossess him from the puck, and Devils are looking for a bit of zone time. Fournier, and that's gone wide. Paris forward to Pope. Paris with the time and space, and it's a slap shot right into the logo. I was kind of hoping for a little wrister there from Paris to emulate his goal from yesterday.
That's a fine save, isn't it, from Headley there, challenging at the top of the crease, a confident save again on Paris. You're absolutely right, Gaz, perhaps the opportunity for the wrister there from Drew Paris. We know he's got that accuracy there as well, but he just fancied a blast on that occasion, and fine save. That hit Headley really almost as quick as it left the stick of Paris.
So the conga line is now dissipated, and the patrons have been asked to return to their seats. Much to the chagrin of people who enjoy fun everywhere.
We want beach ball.
Hudson. Puck around. Lightning are looking to equalise here. Their fans would go ballistic should that happen, but now here's Bentavolio going through, and there's going to be a penalty on the play. It's a penalty shot. I didn't think he was clear.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that, Gaz. I'm struggling to see how Bentavolio is anywhere near the act of shooting there or clear of those two defenders. He is quick, Bentavolio. This season he's come back leaner, fitter and faster, and he's been superb in moments like this. I think there's an argument to say he's away from Stofflet there, but again, well, adds a bit of drama and excitement to things here. But the foot speed of Bentavolio is just superb. Just caught Stofflet flat foot and he was away.
Well, they've changed it to interference now.
Changed it. So, the right call then? For you?
Yeah, why not?
Either way, definitely a penalty. Cardiff Devils power play coming up.
Shot from Pope. Headley saves. Rebounds loose. Still loose, and is unfortunately an official down on the ice. I hope he's okay. It is your friend, our man, Sam Morton.
I mean, the most injury-prone official on the circuit.
He is.
And well, he rose like Lazarus there, didn't he? He looked like he was down and out for a long time, but no.
It's still 1 minute and 40 seconds of power play time here. Sam Morton doing his best penalty killing efforts for the Milton Keynes Lightning there. Back around, Farina. Martin. Morissette. From Fournier over the top. Martin delicately takes that out of the air and puts it back on the ice. Fournier with a bit of time and space. Shoots, and Fournier with a bullet top shelf extends the Devils' lead. It's now 5-3.
Gleason Fournier with an absolute rocket there. That puck was in the back of the net just moments after it left the stick of Gleason Fournier. Just opened up for him. Justin Farina doing a superb job as the screen in front of the goal there. Fournier walks in, finds a lane. I don't think Farina got a touch on it there, Gaz. He did go to the bench first, but either way, there's absolutely no chance for Headley in goal. Power play goal for the Cardiff Devils. They open up a 2-goal lead again. Just calm things down a little bit for their home fans in the building.
Isaacson puts it on net. Melee loses an edge, and he's hurt himself there. Melee. He's holding his arm there. Keep an eye on that as well. Lord to Mark Lewis. Mark Lewis just trying to find a shooting lane, and does eventually. It's a good save by Headley. Lord's going to go into the corner, finishes his hit. Paul Phillips asking for a penalty there. Now there's a little bit of a ruckus at the bench. It's Lord and Melee. Melee took exception to that hit in the corner, and now there's a further one going on here. Strachan's joining in too. He's going down now, he's going down swinging.
Well, Andrew Lord is the... I wouldn't put it past Andrew Lord to want to try and get involved in something like that in this special game for him tonight. He's a player who enjoys that side of the game, Gaz, and no doubt if he wasn't the head coach of the Cardiff Devils as well, would have been involved in many more fisticuffs over the years in the Devils jersey than he has been. But he'll sit for just a couple of minutes here, I imagine, for a rough alongside Melee. But my goodness, if he can't get a goal tonight, Gaz, I wouldn't put it past him to try and find his way into a fight. Either way, it's Gleeson Fournier's 13th of the season, his 4th on the power play. He's got numerous assists on the power play, Fournier. It's not often that his shots end up going straight through on the power play. Usually somebody is the recipient of that shot with a deflection out front. But it was a fine shot in the end. Farina picked up an assist on the goal too.
There's a lot of awards for the Devils this year for people to vote on. Gleeson Fournier be a candidate for Unsung Hero this year. Think of his performances in the CHL, and the shot goes in, it's trickled wide, and Carney was there again at the post to try and flick it home, but he can't. Another great chance for the Lightning, and now the Devils turn it over. Bendevolio.
Those wonderful hands from Carney again, Gaz, but a fabulous recovery save from Murdy.
Lightning go back to work now. Carney again. Hudson. Carney. King with a shot, and it's tipped in front from Hudson. And now the Devils will go forward. Richardson, that's Bendevolio for company. Bendevolio doesn't get it. That's a great diving play from Denny Carney to break that play up.
And a great save as well from Headley. Carney there's almost put it in his own net, I think, Gaz. It was a fabulous bit of desperation on the back check from Denny Carney. I think he gets a good piece of this though, a bit too much, a bit more than he would have liked. Let's take a look at it here. Down he goes, gets the stick on it. Fine save in the end from Headley there. What a sharp save. This one's taken off again.
Certainly has. It's amazing what a conga line will do to a game, isn't it? Phillips loads up Hudson. Murdy bats it away.
4-on-3 power play here as well with Bendevolio sitting for 2. I don't know if any of our guys picked up what happened there. I presume it was the play that sent Carney to the ice initially.
Milton Keynes going offside, so it's going to be 42 seconds of 4-on-3. And then the 1 minute and 40 seconds of 5-on-4 power play time for the Lightning.
Lord and Bendevolio in the box for the Cardiff Devils. Melee in the box for Milton Keynes Lightning. Neutral zone face off, and more time for some of these high-end guys for the Milton Keynes Lightning to go to work. They already have a goal on a 3-man penalty killing unit tonight. That 5-on-3 goal, now they get a chance 4-on-3.
Myers sends that one down ice. Little shove off the play there as well. Hotham ends up on the floor.
Keep an eye on Hotham here. He's not happy with that. There's usually a response.
Melee is banging on the glass in front of us as well. I'm not quite sure why. As Phillips can't handle it at the blue line. Matthew Myers will chase him down, but Phillips does well to find King. King again. Phillips. Phillips shoots. Murdy saves. And it's going to be a high stick call.
And there was a response from Andrew Hoffman. And it was Card. Those two have tangled already this season, former teammates. Andrew Hoffman still discussing what went on with the official. Lord and Melly. Lord was hoping that he might be able to get on the end of that hoisted puck into the neutral zone for a breakaway chance out of the box, Gaz, but alas for him, the whistle went.
55 seconds of 5-on-4 power play time then for Milton Keynes. Melee. That'll be offside again, and disappointment for Milton Keynes there. I'd probably say this third period with conga lines and people in horse costumes and all sorts of weirdness, this is as close to me doing the Dundee Stars webcast as possible. And I say that with much warmth and love for our counterparts in Dundee, because that is one of the most weird viewing experiences I ever have, and I look forward to it each and every time the Devils play there. Devils clear it down, 25 seconds left on the power play. If Milton Keynes were to get one here, it would make a very interesting last 10 minutes. Puck is broken to Lord. He has Morissette up with him. Morissette does very well just to kill these few seconds. Now to Joey Martin, to Mark Lewis. The penalty's expired. Lewis fires it in, looking for a tip in front from Martin. Doesn't find it. That's a good penalty kill for the Devils.
Just getting a little bit chippy out there as well, Gaz. Lewis Hook was taken down away from the play there. Again, it was so far off the play we didn't see it, but he wasn't happy. He was having a little discussion with the official as he left the ice. We get a look here at the good work of Jake Morissette as his line mates were on a change and just kept the puck in the zone, created a chance for the Devils.
Pope cuts it out. Martin, what a finish! That is from Joey Martin. And the Devils now, you'd think, are out of sight. It's 6-3.
Last regular season game of the season, Gaz, and it wouldn't be Joey Martin unless he found a way to get on the goal scoring sheet tonight. The Devils' leading points getter, leading goal scorer, the league's best player, is 27th of the season. Good feed from Matt Pope there, who's had a wonderful partnership with all season on that big line for the Cardiff Devils, and a fabulous finish to one-time that one high and give the goaltender no chance.
Doucette can't get the puck out of his feet. Neither can Martin. And it'll be offside again.
But a slow motion shot coming up of that goal for Joey Martin. And here it is. Pope with a feed, sources it over the stick there beautifully. And Martin almost gets it on the half volley, doesn't he, Gaz? Just the skill set of Joey Martin to not only get onto that puck at the time he did, but also feed it high past the goaltender.
He's beautifully controlled that puck to ease its way into the top corner. And, well, Neil Francis has christened him the greatest of all time for the Devils, which is an extensive list. You need to be very, very good to be even in that conversation. And if the Devils are harboring hopes of winning the playoffs, Joey Martin is going to be a big, big piece of that puzzle. Blast coming in from the blue line, but it's wide. Pompey up against Hotham. Hotham wins that battle. And again, Hotham finds an outlet pass. Bentivolio. He mishandles and Hook cleans things up. No melee. Melee puts the puck onto the pads of Murdy. And this sends the Devils back into the ascendancy. Dad looking to sneak one in near post. Chipped forward by Griffin. Good stop-start motion, and now this gets Joey Martin moving, but he's offside because that puck got caught at the boards and slowed it down. Hudson. Essery. Hudson cuts it out again, finds Essery again. Griffin, who's really been activated more as a forward tonight, is crashing that net again, looking to pick up something. Here he is again, Griffin. Good stick it was, though, from Mark Lewis. Phillips turns and lays it down to the corner. Puck takes a wicked bounce off the glass, and the Devils do just about get there first, but everyone's all in a bit of a disarray here. King throws that one into the glove of Murdy.
Yeah, it was Stofflet who took the puck into the zone, looking to go right around the glass there, but it just had other ideas. Took a wicked bounce, as you say, Gaz. The Devils were the first to react to it. Stofflet looking to activate himself there. Of course, he's got his first league goal of the season tonight. Perhaps looking to get involved in another and just play up there. He's out there with Gwyn Pompey at the moment, who's got his first of the season as well. But at a point in the game now where perhaps one or two things are going to be tried by players from both teams that you may not see in a conventional game, but and that would have been one of the more unusual goals. Not that he attempted to get that kind of deflection off the glass.
Retkis. Retkis just lost an edge there, and now Josh Batch going in on the forecheck. Batch finishing his hit. And you still feel an incident like that could still spark something in this game. He finished another one, Batch! Maybe Batch there was thinking there was going to be a receipt thrown, but there was nothing coming.
He's a heavy hitter, isn't he, Josh Batch? Doesn't always generate a huge amount of speed into those hits, but like a boxer, Gaz, throwing a heavy punch, it's very, very similar in the way he throws those hits. He really finishes right through the player, almost as though he's hitting behind the player to get that extra driving force through, and just crushed Stofflet a couple of times there.
Martin dances around, and there's going to be a penalty called here. And I think it's going to be... Well, the Devils are in possession of it, so I thought it was going to be a...
Yeah, it's Lewis Hook who's going to sit for two here. Martin is enjoying it. There's the little hook there on Martin. Just took the play away. Not sure why we got a whistle, Gaz, because as you say, Devils in possession, had a goal-scoring opportunity as well, and my instinct initially was, as yours was, that must have been a penalty on the Devils, but the hook was clear as day. Hook is going to sit for 2, Lewis that is, and Joey Martin. He's done that a few times this last weekend or so, a little bit more room on the ice. He's enjoying cutting his way down Broadway there, Gaz.
Fournier. He's going to do something very similar here. Morissette to Pope. Morissette. Martin. Trying to find Farina, who was lurking, but he couldn't do it. 1:28 left on the power play.
Yeah, and it took a bit of a bounce, didn't it? And it was a clever save from Eddie there, because he read the play that the pass was looking to go out front for Farina for the one-timer there in the slot, but he didn't peel away from the post too soon, was able to recover the puck off a bit of a bad deflection.
Fournier did excellently to keep it at the blue line, but equally Isaacson did brilliantly to clear. Morissette. Martin gets it out of the air, but again, Essery is there to stop the Devils' momentum. 3 Devils players converge on him. And they'll start again. 50 seconds left of the power play. Marcelin recovers. Finds Hotham. Play breaks down. Yeah, shot on Headley, and he does well. Batch was looking for that 100.
He was, but he could have got the 100th perhaps with a pass to Athlete, who was all alone on the back door. Would have been an assist on the play to Bash, but I like that he's looking to shoot. I think I'd like to see him shoot more often. He has got a good shot. That's a good save there. I think Patrick Astley was probably hoping that the puck found its way over to him, but don't begrudge Josh Bash trying to double his tally.
Asselin into Volio. Batch is just setting up in front of that net now. Hotham shoots, deflection wide. 15 seconds of power play time left. Batch to Asselin. And Volio looking for Batch again. Batch with a rebound attempt, and Headley makes a great save. They're trying for him. Another deflection wide.
Oh, he's doing a great job out front there on the power play. He was made to play that role, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's difficult for defensemen. It's like a toddler trying to move a bag of cement when you got a man that large in front, and possibly another power play there, but trip not called. Hotham will just take a few seconds here. Strachan. Andrew Lord coming on for a shift now, and this will be the last couple of shifts for him tonight. Rutkiss finds Lord. Lord trying to get it in deep. Matthew Myers! And Headley gloves it. A much better spectacle these last 2 games on this final weekend than the 2 that preceded it. There is a sense that the Devils have been looking to get their legs for the playoffs. A lot of games around the country are already done and dusted tonight. We'll try and have a look at some sort of final table or some sort of information to see how it's all ended. Rutkiss. Strachan. Matthew Myers. Farina. We're in the final 2 minutes of this one. Strachan. It's turned over for King though. That puck is just nestled at the back of Murdy's net. Lewis. And after a real spirited, gutsy road performance from Milton Keynes, you get the sense now that maybe they are just resigned to this one and resigned to their fate now. Batch to Crowder. Crowder out in front, but it's cut out the last minute here as the Red Army chant rings out. It's been a fantastic league season for the Devils. Again, Fournier. He's looking for the pass, isn't he? Back and play! Rebound put away! It's Andrew Lord who christens this game, possibly his last game, with a goal! It's fairy tale stuff here at Ice Arena Wales.
And knowing the man as we've got to know him over these last few years, Gaz, you wouldn't have put it past him to do this, to get that goal. Here we take a look at it. Fournier to get them into the zone. Beautiful backhand play. It's Rutkiss there with the assist on the goal, Gaz. The player he's brought in and has grown into this lineup. And Andrew Lord busts a gut to get to the net there and pick up the pieces out front. How many times have we seen him do it in a Devils uniform? And he gets that goal in what, as you say, could be his final game in a Devils uniform.
It's almost like the torch was passed. It could get better here. Lord, still there. This building is energized. Shot comes in, deflected wide. Batch. It was almost like a passing of the torch moment. How the young upstart Rutkiss doing all the hard work in front of net just to put it on a plate for his coach. There's a last slap shot coming in, fittingly blocked by Andrew Lord, and the clock ticks down. A perfect end to a perfect regular season for the champions and their coach, Andrew Lord and the Cardiff Devils. It's Cardiff Devils 7, Milton Keynes Lightning 3.
Perfect ending, as you say so wonderfully, Gaz, to a perfect championship season. And just to top it off, we get a look in slow motion here as Lord finds his way to the net. And what a finish, and then the realization that he scored with moments to go is such an important game for him. Back in this Devils lineup, perhaps for the last time tonight, the head coach of the Cardiff Devils. The passing of the torch, almost, as you say, and goodness me, what a marvellous way to end this regular season.
Indeed it is, and well, the gum shield was almost out of his mouth before the puck had crossed the line for him to get his elation out.
And I just took a moment, Gaz, after that final whistle. Andrew Lord on the ice for the end of the game there as well. And while the team celebrated behind him, he just had a 4 or 5 seconds to himself, crouched over, and you could see the emotion dripping off him, draining out of him after what has been a quite phenomenal season for him as a coach. But to have that last hurrah, if that's what it is, as a player in the uniform of the club that he loves so much and has given so much to, and in a way so wonderful that the game was able to give that moment back to him.
Very often in sports, it doesn't end in the way you'd like. And I know we've maybe been gushing about him, Al, but we're very lucky that we've had a lot of chance to get to know him. He doesn't give us anything as a coach, but as a as a person, he's always been very good to us. And so it's hard sometimes, I guess, to not take that into account, that a genuinely good person has had this fitting end to a season as a player, and maybe a fitting end as a player at this club. It's been really fantastic to see. Of course, this is Pete Russell's end as well, in a Milton Keynes uniform, and he's coming out for a few handshakes, and he gets his time in the sun.
And Todd Kelman has requested this opportunity for Pete Russell as well. Class from Todd Kelman to allow Pete Russell this moment. A hugely respected coach within the British game is Pete Russell, the GB head coach, and I'm sure that he will find success again in the top flight of British hockey. You never know, it might be sooner rather than later. But what a wonderful, at least, opportunity for him to sign off in front of those passionate fans that have travelled here tonight to support their club in the first season of elite ice hockey for them.
Indeed, and he laid the foundations for that. They took a year in the EPL where they had already been accepted, and he was tasked with guiding them through that transition period. His recruitment last summer was excellent. There was a new ownership group and all of that, and I think maybe that has been a bit of a change for him, and maybe the plans he had in place were changed somewhat, but his fans have turned out for him. There's clearly a lot of respect there for him, and it's good for him to have that moment.
Kevin King picks up the Player of the Match award for Milton Keynes Lightning, the captain, a player you would imagine which this franchise new to the top flight will look to build their success and their club upon in years to come. And they've got those foundations there, haven't they, guys? We've seen it tonight. There is a core of players there which you would hope that club is able to hold on to and build around under next season under Doug Mackay.
Their attendances have been up towards the end of the season. They've learned a lot on and off the ice. They've got a new man coming in that's going to be tasked with shaping the club into something that's going to be a force in the Elite League. It's been excellent to have Milton Keynes visit Ice Arena Wales this year. It's been excellent to have a Milton Keynes franchise back in the top flight. Their fans have been fantastic this evening. We wish them all a very safe trip and look forward to renewing this rivalry next year. Any guesses on who's going to get man of the match?
It'll be a long, drawn-out guess without any commitment to any names, guys.
So you're not going to just pluck the obvious name out of
the obvious name is Andrew Lord. I'm not sure if he would want that, though.
I don't think it's his choice.
Unless he deserved it. And who's to say that he doesn't deserve it tonight?
You can tell him if you don't believe.
I think as well, importantly, Gaz, that perhaps there have been games this season where Thomas Murdy has played, where the team haven't played well enough in front of him. And Andrew Lord has said a couple of times his team have let him down. He does so much for them as the backup goaltender, supports the team so well, that he's wanted them to play better in front of him this season. I think for the team to get a win, to help Murdy get his win tonight as well, I think they did play for him tonight. And I think that's an important distinction just to make in that performance. Playing for Andrew Lord, of course, but I think a little bit playing for Murdy as well.
Andrew Lord, the player, was a fascinating journey to the Cardiff Devils. It was almost like a script from a romantic comedy where him and Neil Francis had email flirtation for a good 2 or 3 seasons prior to him finally acquiescing to Neil Francis's overtures and finally signing on the dotted line, becoming a Cardiff Devils player. From that first few games, you could tell he was built in the mould to play here. Circumstances, though, caused that to be miserable, but when he took the mantle of coach, he hasn't looked back. it is Andrew Lord who gets the beers, and he's going to get a few taps from his players and teammates. Winning puts a smile on that man's face, Al, and he's won a lot.
And he's put a lot of smiles on a lot of people's faces around this building as well, Gaz, and South Wales as a whole. The club's reach getting extended further and further in this region. My goodness, what a deserved moment for him. Scoring that goal in the final few seconds, picking up that Man of the Match award, and now an opportunity for those he's given so much to give back to him.
However, Andrew Lord will be the first person to completely forget about what's just happened, and he will be in a secluded room somewhere watching video of the Coventry Blaze as soon as he possibly can, because Monday will be an off day. Tuesday, work begins in earnest again. It is going to be the Cardiff Devils and the Coventry Blaze next weekend. On Friday, Good Friday, a 7:30 face-off at the Sky Dome. The Cardiff Devils will play the first leg away in Coventry. If you can't make the trip, Clean Cut Sports will have you covered there. So please tune into that. And then on Sunday, April the 1st, the Coventry Blaze will be coming to Ice Arena, Wales, looking to dash the playoff dreams of the Cardiff Devils in the second leg. It'll be live here on IceTime.TV with a 6 o'clock face-off. We'll have time just before that as Andrew Lord has come out for a last lap around, applauding the fan base here. The most successful coach still has a lot more coaching to do, but one of the most fan favorite players has maybe just taken his last skate in a Devils jersey. Thank you very much for joining us this weekend, especially those of you who've donated to T Haven. It was £576 in total raised. That is your donations plus the matching from IceTime.TV. So thank you ever so much for making those donations. T Haven does a lot of excellent work for a lot of children, a lot of families in Wales. So hopefully that money will go and do some good for them. Again, thank you ever so much for supporting that. We'll be back next Sunday. Coventry Blaze against the Cardiff Devils. Clean Cut Sports will have the first leg on Good Friday from 7:30. That faces off. But for me, Gareth Hewish, on behalf of Aled Lloyd and all the IceTime.TV team, thank you very much for joining us. And I hope you've enjoyed your hockey wherever you are. Good night.